Shalom, call halal Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Karkwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the confusion of faith, joined unto our ranks. The hopefully elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning to scatter confusion of faith that are out there. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, and the video that I'm profiling is one that was put up by Elder Barra, my beloved brother here in the Chicago camp. And it's a very edifying video, on point as usual, and it's called Uproars of the People Will Happen Worldwide. Well, they're happening, as this is happening. I believe this is going into its 11th week, 10th or 11th week of this riot and chaos that has overtaken France, which is going to overtake all of Esau's places wherever they dwell in the world. I know Greece went through this a couple years back. It's been happening in different parts of South America, and you even had little hints of it here in America. And the difference being, I mean, look at these guys with these heavily shoulder armor, body armor, batons. Yeah, this is they're looking like they're ready for war, man. This is looking like and they're going to get that ancient Roman spirit again, too. These modern day Romans, man, because that's all America is. America, Esau's kingdom today. This is Rome, the rebirth of Rome all over again, since the Renaissance up to now. All right, because that philosophy has spread to the world through Edom. All right, and all these police forces of Esau around the world. Their police forces are all going to Israel to teach breaching and crowd control tactics from the IDF, man. Because they've had a lot of practice at it since 1947, oppressing people and doing home invasions, entries and stuff to disarm and take shit away from people. Because that's what we're headed to. Yahweh Shai warned us. About when you see uproars of the people, man. Okay? That matter of fact, let me just get that in Ezra's. Second Ezra's. 15th chapter, starting at verse 15. And it reads, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions they shall stand in their power. And the man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able," because they're going to have checkpoints. That's why you have police out here. Militarized police out here. So you can't go past a certain point. You can't come into a certain neighborhood. You can't go into a certain building, a certain area. All right? And as these things get worse, the very people that are rioting are going to turn on each other and be invading one another to take food, water, women. All right? Like that little chick just walking around, in the midst of that, all, carefree and willy-nilly. All right? Matter of fact, you didn't see a whole lot of women out there. She was like one of the very few. Okay? So things are going to get bad, man. There's a time and season for everything. Matter of fact, let's get that in Ecclesiastes. Because we're in the season for Esau to come down. All right? And that's what you're witnessing worldwide. With the expose on all the historical lies that they've told. And all the veil that they've put over the people. That cast covering that's been lifted. All the nations, they covered up who's who. But this is Ecclesiastes, the third chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 1. I'm going to read down to verse 8. All right, and it reads, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die." All right? And Esau's rulership is dying. Okay? A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Esau's being plucked out of rulership. A time to kill and a time to heal. America's not going to be healed. All right, America's going to be killed. As a matter of fact, it's a righteous thing to kill when certain crimes are committed. All right, that's why the Ten Commandments, it doesn't say thou shalt not kill. It says thou shalt not murder. There is a difference between murder and kill. They are not the same thing. There are some crimes that even in Esau's wicked system, they put people to death for certain crimes. Well, guess what? The Lord does the same. There are certain crimes you commit in the Bible which you're supposed to be killed right then and there. All right? Not murder. Murder is when you take someone's life without cause or unrighteously. There's a difference between murdering and killing. All right? A time to break down and a time to build up. You see in democracy and Esau's lies being broken down. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Well, we're definitely in the weeping in the morning time. People are mourning, people are weeping, people are hungry, people want work. People are stressed out and sickly. And all this is happening under Esau's rule, man. Okay? This is all happening under Esau's rule. It says, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. No one's embracing here unless they're fighting. And the gathering of stones are for war, so you can hurl them. All right? They used to gather stones to defend a wall. So that when the invaders would come to throw the ladders on the wall to climb them to breach the city, the people would defend the wall by throwing rocks, stones down at them as they tried to climb. And sometimes those stones would make them fall to their death, or if the stones were heavy enough, it would injure them, and then they'd fall and die, or knock them off the wall. And if they're up high when they fall, death was pretty much, to get hit with a 4 or 5 pound stone and then fall 30 or 40 feet is not really good. All right. Verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose. Esau's losing. America's losing. Europe is losing. The EU is losing. Esau is falling in every place where he is. He is the border of wickedness, and he's going down. All right? A time to keep and a time to cast away. Remember, Esau was cast away. He was put by. A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Prophecies are speaking louder. Louder than ever before, man. We have a joke here in GMS. Prophecies are speaking louder than a nigger woman in a public place. All right? You ever been on a bus or the train on a public place when a nigger woman answers her phone? Then you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a Israelite woman. I'm talking about a nigger woman. All right? And nigger women come in all shapes, colors, and sizes because there's a whole bunch of Edomite nigger women. There's some loud, ignorant ass Edomite women too. Excuse my French. Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. A time to war and a time to peace. We're clearly not in a time of peace. And the Bible just told you that there are times to hate. And yes, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus definitely hates. All right? They hate. And that's why they're destroying this place, man. And what's bringing all this on? Everything's failing. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. And in that day the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. Damn, my dog just bust through the door and came in. Damn, he gangster. Let me go back, Salakia. I thought I'd close the door securely, but clearly, big old muscle bound head of his. Hold on. Salakia. Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. And in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the window shall be darkened. And what's being darkened, man? Darkened is their future. No jobs. All right? There's no, the grinders, meaning all the factories are shutting down. All the jobs are shutting down. And these people don't have a way to feed themselves. That's why they're out in the street protesting. They're mad, man. They're angry. All right? And the door shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So people are getting up early to go hunting for jobs, but there's nothing out there but chaos. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai, Bashem Rakar Kadash, Wa Abba Babal.